Remarks on Japanese acting. By way of confirmation, let us consider an art in which this feeling for expressive movement plays a crucial role: the art of acting. The actor gains his effect not by high and often empty pathos, not by sweeping gestures, but by muted acting, known as the voiceless, inner art. It does not lose itself in emotionality, and every single detail of it is perfectly formed. The spectator does not merely see the bare movement, as it were in isolation. He knows how to interpret it in relation to feelings and moods of all kinds, and he judges the greatness of an actor by his power to express himself in little. A few words, an inclination of the head, a movement of the hand, perhaps merely of a finger. That is enough for an actor to speak more eloquently than ever he could with words. The Japanese theater, No as well as Kabuki, is based not on words, but, here we can discern its Buddhist roots, on silence, so that the story can only be suggested, not told. There are plays in which the actors, without uttering a word, can hold the audience spellbound by a power of expression which is so economical that it has been called frozen dancing, or the undancing dance. A Japanese play is not meant to be read like a European one, which may reveal all its beauty or brilliance or profundity in the first reading. It becomes a play only through the genius of the actor, who adds to it precisely that element which cannot be expressed by words. While acting, his face is almost completely immobile, expressionless, with staring eyes. There should be nothing surprising in this. For one thing, masks were used since ancient times in the No plays. For another, the actors owe a very great deal to the influence of the puppet theater, where the power of expression resides in gestures of the most sparing kind. This has been developed to such an art that it seems to have reached perfection. Only on this basis can we understand why the tradition of the dumb show is carefully preserved and is slowly learned from youth up, even as early as in infancy. There is, in existence, a theater record begun several centuries ago, whose central feature is a pedantically accurate description of the dumb shows performed by great actors. This was felt to be the main task and purpose of theatrical criticism. Every actor could then learn how his great predecessors played his specific role and how to work towards a truly timeless form of acting. The leading actor in Tokyo today was taught by his father. Above all, no originality. That is the concern of a mediocre actor. It is easy to appear spectacular, but the good actor strives to be as unspectacular as possible. The result, not surprising in the circumstances, is a theater sub specie aeternitatis. Every movement, however trivial, means something, especially in the No plays. The tiniest variations and shades of meaning give rise to the different schools of acting, something that is almost inconceivable with us. This is possible only because these momentous gestures have been brought to final perfection, so that even the smallest variation counts. The reason why they do not have the effect of stereotypes despite the formal underlying pattern, and why they do not degenerate into a routine of which even mediocre actors could avail themselves, is that in Japan nature, life, and art flow into one another without a break. Art is not a realm of appearance apart from and above nature and life. It is the perfection of them. Through the artist, who has supreme control of technique, is thereby liberated from it. The art of Japanese acting must remain largely inaccessible to the European, not merely because he does not know the language, but because he has not developed the Oriental's faculty of vision. Though he can follow without effort the most intricate dialogue in a European play, he is helpless when confronted with the simplest scene in a Japanese theater or dumb show. he cannot deny that his culture is founded on logos, whereas the culture of the Far East is founded on intuitive vision. Lest I be suspected of exaggerating in order to illustrate the background of Satori, there is the famous anecdote of two great masters of the theater to bear me out. One of them recognized the greatness and superiority of the other by his overpoweringly simple demeanor in a scene in which not a single word is spoken. All this the master possesses by virtue of having been born in the East. If, in addition, he has a third eye granted by Satori, one can imagine what results may be achieved by this revolutionizing of his powers of vision.